it's Susan. It is Wednesday, hump day, whoop, whoop, whoop. And it is the 22nd of January, and it's about 10 o'clock Pacific time. So last week I was talking about, should I shut this thing down? And I decided not to, because the moms still had some really relevant topics and things that they found of value that we do here at the Hot Mess Mama Zone. And so one of the things that they were talking about that they wanted more information on, or just another place to vent or get advice from other fellow moms, was shit or get off the pot, or potty, if you will, with kids in potty training. So my kids are out of that zone right now. Sorry, the hair. Oh my gosh, the hair. Okay. So my kids are out of that like potty training zone, but like I remember those days far too well. So I thought I'd take a minute to talk a little bit about it. Because as a first-time mom, trying to potty train a child is like one of the hardest things ever. I think that's probably one of the hardest parts of my parenting situation, was trying to get your kid to be potty trained, because you think to yourself, this is something that is so simple and innate that like everybody can do it. Like, why can't my kid grasp potty training? And you get so frustrated because of all the laundry and the diapers and the pull-ups and the gadgets and the advice and the books and the training and all of that. And you're like, none of these things work. And why isn't there just a simple formula to like, for kids to know how to pee and poop in a potty, right? And you have potties for your car, and you've got urinals for your car in case they have to go in the car. And like, there's those like, you dread like going to public restrooms or gas stations. And then like there's the wedding at night and the wedding during the day. And there's just so much stress that goes around. Like, you have to plan every outing, everything around their potty training. And you feel like it's never going to end. And no two kids are the same. And then there's like the school of thought of that boys train differently than girls. And you train differently at different ages. And there's those that are like, you need to start them really early. And then there are the others that say, you just need to wait till they're ready. And then there's those moms that are like, push. You got to potty. And the others are just like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I got other things that I got other fish I got to fry. They'll do it when they're ready, right? So when I was the first time mom with my son, like, it was like someone in like one of the people at his preschool had said, I think he's getting ready because he's showing interest and he's showing readiness. So then I thought, okay, that means he's got to be potty trained. And I went like hardcore into the potty training. And, some say boys are harder to train than girls. I don't know. You tell me what your experiences are with that. But I felt like it was really difficult for us to train him. Like, he was almost afraid, right? I thought it was super difficult. And I had and of course then you're like the peeing is one thing and the pooping is another. And I felt like they could adjust to like the daytime peeing way easier than they could the pooping, because there was something frightful about pooping, right? There's something scary about pooping. And then there's like, do you put them on a potty? Like on a real person, like a big person's toilet with like maybe an insert on it? Or do you put them on like those potties that are the small little ones that are just theirs that you empty out, right? And then there's like the cleaning of those. I did one Facebook Live or a posting or something, because there was someone that I was like, how do you clean these things? Besides like disinfecting them, like how do you get down in there? Because kids pee and poop into the crevices. And some people were like, put it in your dishwasher. And others were like, heck no, why would I put that in my dishwasher with my food, my, plates and stuff. So there's not only, there's all of the methods of how you train your child, when you train your child, the gadgets that go along with training the child, the diapers, the laundry, and just the general hygiene and cleanliness of your home during that time, because there's just so much. There's like, okay, so, and then there's the girls who they think, the girls can train faster. I not quite sure I buy into that, because I have my second who I was also watching. I don't know about you, but I felt like nighttime potty training was way more difficult than daytime potty training. I felt like we were doing that forever. And as I was going through all of this stress and like helicoptering over my kids, thinking my kids there's something seriously wrong with them because they can't pee or poop, right? Hey, Katie, I'm sure Katie has, a ton of advice about how to potty train littles, because she's got 4 now. She has a son, she has twins, and she's got another kid. So yeah, and she's probably in the thick of it. Some of them may have been potty training together. Brian, I don't know if you've ever potty trained kids, but like, there's all sorts of methods, and everyone promises to be the best method and the fastest method and all of that kind of stuff. So like, I remember when I was with trying to train with Enzo, there was like, put Cheerios in the toilet and have them like do like target practice on the Cheerios, right? And then there was like I remember like the naked method where you just make them naked until they go, right? And then that led to my son like pooping on my carpet. That was super awesome. And then there is there's like the boot camp methods where like you buy entire books on how you can train your kid. You could probably train a kid in 3 days, right? And it's like you literally sit at home for 3 days and do nothing but like feed them apple juice and water, and you make like theme games up for the entire weekend, and just sit at home and like take them to the potty every 30 minutes until they get it. Like that's like the boot camp method, right? And then there's the method where you like put the underpants on underneath the pull-up, because if they don't feel the pee, they don't know to go, right? So I mean, like I feel like I've tried everything. Like, and then so like you put the underpants on underneath the pull-up, and then they feel the sensation of wetness, and they realize, oh, that meant that I had to go, and that trains them, because when you wear just the diaper or you wear the pull-up, that wicks away the moisture, and they don't realize that they've gone. So and then there's there's boot camp method, there's the naked method, there is the like have them pee outdoors method. Remember, like, oh, well, just like they can go pee in the bushes. Well, that's all fine and dandy until you're out at a public park and your kid whips out his junk. And then there's the like, just where there's the pull-up method, right? And then there's the underpant method, and then there's like just keep letting him pee himself until they figure it out, right? And then there's like the nighttime methods where like you triple sheet your beds, because and you have like the plastic sheet, then you got another sheet, and then you got another sheet, and then a plastic sheet or whatever, and so that when your kid pees in his bed in the middle of the night, you just whip the top one off, and there's the bottom one already there, so you don't have to wake him up. And then there's like don't let them drink for an hour before they go to bed, right? And then there's like the treat method, the like you'll get a treat if you go in the potty. Like I remember my son, if he peed in the potty, he would get like an M&M, and if he pooped in the potty, he got like a marshmallow peep. That was his big deal. Like my daughter was like, I don't care. She didn't care about any of that. Like she just seemed to like, maybe because she had an older sibling that she could model. That's another thing too. Like not as potty training a boy is different than potty training a girl, but potty training the first is different than potty training the second, because the second watches the first. And takes cues from the first. So it's a challenge. I feel like I've tried all of these methods. The overnight methods was the hardest for us to master. And then I ended up buying like, it's a gadget. It's this like, what is it called? I'll have to look it up and I'll put it in the comments, but it's this like pee alarm where like there's an alarm. It's like a little box, a battery operated alarm that you clip to their pajamas, you clip up on their shoulder, and it has a wire on it. And the wire you then clip down into their underpants. And so the second it signifies any, detects any moisture, it sets off an alarm. And the alarm then wakes them up, and then they go, oh, I've got to pee. And then they go into the bathroom, and they go and they pee, right? But I mean, like even a drop, like even if a drop hit their underpants, the sensor picks it up and like wakes them up so that they don't have the full on pee in their pants. They like wake up and go. We used that for a while with my son, and that seemed to work. Tracking his, that was a good method for him. But then, you also got a boy who pees standing up in the middle of the night. So we had to further potty train him later that like he would like stumble into the bathroom and it would be dark and he couldn't see the bowl or whatever. And that was hard. So then we had to get another gadget. It's a light that clips onto your toilet rim so that when your kid goes into the bathroom, it senses their motion and it turns on like a light, like colored light or whatever that lights up the toilet bowl so they can see the toilet bowl and aim correctly and not have accidents in the toilet bowl in the middle of the night. Now, obviously my kid's 8 years old now almost, and he doesn't need those gadgets anymore, but it was super valuable for him because he needed that. He needed to be able to see the bowl. He needed to be able to see the toilet. In the beginning, he couldn't sense when he needed to pee at night, so the alarm helped. That was a good one. My daughter, like we saved the alarm and the light and the pee alarm. We saved the light for my daughter, but she didn't seem to need it. Maybe because I wasn't so high strung about getting her trained, and I was just like. One of my friends had said to me, your kids are not going to go off to school in a diaper. So they're not going to go off to college in a diaper. Don't stress over it. They're going to learn at their own pace, right? So with my daughter, I was just like, whatever. I'll just keep her in pull-ups until she's like takes them off and says, I don't want to anymore. And that was probably, so she was, in that sense, was easy to train because I was just like, you can wear pull-up as long as you want. And you just tell me when you want to wear a big girl in her pants and I'll have them here and ready for you. And just one day she was like, okay, I don't need them anymore, Mom. I'm like, okay, all right. So with her, she didn't need the light. She didn't need the alarm. My son also had a watch, like a pee watch. And it was this watch. It was like this digital watch. It was plastic and didn't tell time or anything like that. But it had an alarm that you could set on it that was like every 15, 30, 60 or 90 minutes. And it would light up. It would like rainbow light up and it would play music. And that would signify to the kid, oh, I need to try to go potty now. So whether he needed to go potty or not, it would signify this is when you need to try to go potty. And so as he got more proficient with peeing and pooping in the potty, you could set the time limits longer and longer and longer. And then they just didn't need to watch anymore. So he had a potty watch, he had the pee-pee alarm, and he had the light in the toilet. I had saved all these things for her. She didn't need any of them, probably because I was just like, whatever, you're going to figure it out, and I don't have the time to teach you. And maybe, again, she saw from my son, like she had someone she could mirror. But like literally, one day, she just stopped peeing in her pull-up. Are awesome. And then one day she's just like, I don't need my overnights anymore, like my overnight pull-ups anymore. I'm like, okay. And she hasn't had a problem since. So like every kid is different. I mean, if it's first kid or second kid, if it's a girl or a boy or whatever age, every kid is going to operate differently. My son was hyper, like he needed a lot of training. My daughter was like, whatever, I got this. I'm ready. Cool. So like, and again, I will say again, like your kid will not go off to college in a diaper. So there's that. But like there's a million books out there that you can read and a million different theories and like videos and potties. I'm just looking online right now, like of all the other kind of things that I did. We had the potties that like sat on the floor and like the kids would pee in it and it would make music when they peed. Like it's like it would sense the pee or it would sense the poop and it would bump, ba-da-da, like yay! You know, that we had those potties. And then we had the inserts the one that got older and they could reach the toilet. We could put the insert in the toilet lid. Those were a lot easier to take with you when you travel as well. And then when we would do like road trips and stuff, we had like, it's called a travel potty that you like put in your backseat. You'd fold it up like a tiny little suitcase, right? Well, not even a suitcase. Like it was about the size of a laptop. And then like it would like the legs would open up and the top would open up and they could pee or poop in this hole that had like a plastic Ziploc bag and that's all you had to do was zip the bag and throw it away. And then we have a travel urinal for my son, and they have an adapter for girls that you can it's like a big tube that like accordions up and they can pee in that instead of having, it's easier for the boys because they have more directional control than girls with our anatomy. So those are some of the gadgets that I use, but like, you know, what do you use? Like I'm just looking online at all these different like training toilets and training seats and ones with music and then books for your kids to look at. Now there's some potty training books. Now what are some of the potty training books that worked for you? Like I will tell you, like spot for both of my kids, the like quintessential most important potty training book of all the potty training books was Everybody Poops. I wish I remember who wrote that book. I'm looking at it right now. Everybody Poops. And that was amazing because it was just these sketches of like gorillas and gorilla poop and giraffes and giraffe poop and bear poops and then like a little baby and poop in a diaper and an older kid pooping in a kid's like potty and then a big kid and a daddy or whatever pooping in a toilet and everybody poops. So like every animal in the world poops and every person in the world poops. That was a big one. There's also another book called Big Girl Panties. That was one. That wasn't one that she, like, I remember checking it out at the library and I was like, oh, okay. But it wasn't really, it didn't flip her switch. She just was cool with it. But Everybody Poops was a big one because they like to watch the poop. They like to look at the poop and they like to know that like, it's okay to poop, right? Same thing like Everybody Toots. Everybody poops, everybody toots. So like it's just nature, so not to be afraid of it. That was if I had to recommend any book, a potty training book, that would be Everybody Poops. Then there's, like I said, Potty Training in 3 Days, the step-by-step guide. Like I would steer clear of that because I just felt like that was just too boot campy for my kids and that was just a lot of pressure on them. I'm looking, what else was there? There was an Elmo potty video that we tried and you know, that's cute. I mean, it was cute. And I think I got it at like a garage sale for $1, but I wouldn't have paid for more than that. But they do tell you things like, let me go back here. We're going to go back. There was something, just some interesting statistics that they were saying. You know, Charmin has potty training video, or, you know, like Charmin toilet paper has potty training resources. And Pampers does, and Pull-Ups does, and all that kind of stuff. But like in terms of like potty training, what do they say? What is the normal age for potty training? Most children start working on the skill between 18 months and 3 years of age. 18 months and 3 years of age, that's a year and a half and 3. That's a big gap. So don't be upset if your kid isn't immediately jumping to the potty training thing, because that's a big gap. 18 months to 3 years is when kids start, or is the average age of potty training, and that they when they actually do it, like the average is around 27 months. That's 2+ years. So like, don't get stressed if your 18-month-old is not doing it and Susie Q down the street is. You know, it just depends on their signs of readiness apparently and other things. And then says, how do you begin potty training? How do I train my toddler in 3 days? There's that book again. Like, I steer clear of that. What are the signs that they're ready to potty train? Pulling at their wet diapers, hiding when my kid did that. Like, they had a pooping corner or peeing corner when they would go do it. Like, they knew that they were doing it. Watching others and being, interested in the use of the potty or copying behavior. Having their diapers dry longer than usual, awaking dry from a nap, like telling you that they have to go or they're just about ready to go, and that even though when they do go in the diaper, just they have the awareness that they're going. And then, there's, can you potty train too early? They said, training a child too early can lead to toilet accidents because the bladder may not be strong enough. It may also lead to constipation. Oh, kidney damage and urinary tract infection. That's super awesome. Mainly because they get so scared that they hold in their bowels. So, like, you can, I guess, technically potty train too early. So you should just, like, let it happen when your kid starts to be ready. This is a good one. This is a good stat. Ready? The American Association of Pediatrics reports that kids who begin potty training at 18 months are generally not fully trained until age 4, while kids who begin at age 2 are generally fully trained by age 3. So you get these parents that think, I want to start my kid early in potty training, so I'm going to start them at 18 months. Well, they may not finish potty training until they're 4. But if you just wait another 6 months until, the kid's like 2 and more ready, they will potty train by 3. So the research shows that, like, you would benefit from waiting until they're 2. But they do say many kids will not master bowel movements on the toilet until their 4th year. So, like, my daughter's like 4. My son is 8. So I think that we're full. Like, I remember this week, I threw out all of her old pull-ups. And, we threw out all of the, when we sold all of potties and all, got rid of all those things because it's not something that they need anymore. So just know by 4, 4 years old, even still, there are some that are not going to be potty trained at 4. So don't stress. This is not a reflection on your child and their development or their intelligence. And it's not a reflection on you as a parent on how well you've trained them. So just I guess my best advice to you is not to, there's lots of YouTube videos out there too, not to stress over it. No, that sounds so bad. And you feel like it's never going to end. And all you do is launder and launder clothes, launder sheets, clean poop out of diapers and out of underpants and pee everywhere. My best advice to you, and mothers tried to give it to me and I was like, no way. Just let it happen. Let your kids call the shots. Let your kids tell you when they're ready, and just keep putting them in pull-ups or putting them in diapers or pull-ups until they say enough's enough. Because that's when you know. Literally, when my daughter said that, it was like, okay. And she never had an accident in her bed. She never had an accident in her pants. She was just ready. She's like, I'm done. I'm good now. I know that sounds so easy it just sounds so easy to say, but there's no need to rush it because they're going to be ready when they're ready. And no amount of training, no amount of purchasing of gadgets or methodologies or reading of books is going to make your kid do it any faster. Just hang in there, mama. And we can get, what may work for my kid may not work for your kid. Just hang in there. Know that you're loved. Potty training sucks, but it is a short window of time. Feels like forever, but it's a short window of time, and your kid will not go off to college in a diaper. I love you much. If you have some comments as to what may have worked for you to help out those moms that are going through the struggle, put those comments in here of what things may have worked for you or didn't work for you, or what advice you may have. Now, obviously, again, take everybody's advice with a grain of salt because it's not going to, necessarily not all, there's no one-size-fits-all formula for potty training. Just know that this too shall pass. You can do this. You too had accidents when you were little. You too wet the bed when you were little. It will pass. And your child is amazing and will master it in due time. Love you much. Have a good Wednesday. And would love to hear your thoughts on topics for another Wednesday talk. Take care. Long week, but we're powering through, people. We will see you on Friday. I think I'm going to do a wine tasting on Friday. I'm not sure what I'm going to do it with. I think I might either do it with Hostess pies or beef jerky. What are your thoughts on that? A, Hostess pies, B, beef jerky. Let me know what you think, and I will do what I can to make it happen, people. Love you much.